Hello! How is everyone doing? Let's fix this up a bit. Got a ton of ingredients today. It's gonna be a blast though. As you guys saw on the title, we have some cottage pie going down. Not shepherd's pie, because we're using beef. Shepherd's pie is with lamb. Now we know. And I'm also gonna make some date squares. What's up, Bran? I'm going like really old school today. And I think I'm gonna make the date squares first, just because a shepherd's pie doesn't take very long to make. Like, it shouldn't take you more than a couple hours to make both of these things. But both of them bake in the oven for like half an hour, so keep that in mind too. Super easy. I'll go over ingredients after, I think. And I'm just gonna go through a couple little fun facts before I get started. So cottage pie, that term was in use by 1791, so way, way back, when they were introducing potatoes in Britain as an edible crop that was affordable for the poor. So all the people that lived in cottages. And then shepherd's pie didn't appear anywhere until 1854, so quite a while down the road. And in the UK, the term is used to describe the dish which is made with lamb or mutton. So I don't know why, but everyone in North America calls shepherd's pie the beef version, and it actually should be called cottage pie. And in the early cookbooks, the dish was made from leftover roasted meat because they didn't really have grinders back then. And the pie dish was also lined with mashed potato as well as being topped with it. So a little bit different than we have here, or that I have seen at least. And then if you top the mashed potatoes with breadcrumbs, then it becomes a Cumberland pie. So let's just call that a little bit more fancy. And then a little bit on date squares, which I found was interesting. So they are a North American dessert, layered and baked in a pan. They've been around since at least 1922. That was like one of the first recipes ever found. And they were baked at City Bakery in Lethbridge, Alberta. So shout out to Canada. Woohoo! We made date squares. And another name they can be called is matrimonial squares. I've never heard that either though. So that might be more of an American thing. Okay, that's all for fun facts. Really simple things today. Yeah, Berta. So ingredients for our shepherd's pie. I am basing this recipe off of the BBC food recipe for cottage pie. You always have to trust the English with their own recipes. I've never had one fail on me yet. So ground beef, I have like over 3 kilos today, but I'm making a huge 9x13 pan. And then 1 onion, a couple carrots, some frozen peas and corn, which isn't traditional, but I like to put those in just for color and a little bit of sweetness. And then spices, we'll use some bay leaf and thyme. If you have fresh thyme, that's obviously much better. A couple cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of flour just to thicken up the sauce a bit. You don't want a soupy shepherd's pie or cottage pie. A little bit of tomato paste, and this is optional, but you can add red wine. So we had a bottle open, so I'll use a little bit of that up as well. And then 500 mils of beef stock, or 2 cups. And then also a little bit of Worcestershire, that's optional too. And for the mash, I'm gonna do 4 large russets, and I'm gonna throw a couple parsnips into that. Give it a little bit extra flavor. Something a little bit different, because everyone does like their own version of cottage pie. So this is gonna be mine. And then obviously to make the mash, you can use milk or buttermilk or cream and butter and any kind of cheese that you want. I think I might use a mix of mozza and cheddar today, just because we have a little bit extra in the fridge. And then I'm just gonna do a really simple salad on the side with this, just to freshen it up a bit. It can be a pretty heavy dish. So my typical salad consists of lettuce, tomato, cucumber. Yeah, more butter always. Way more butter. Just wait till we make the date squares, Finn. It's gonna be so good. And I always like to do some kind of toasted nut or seed on top of my salad. So I'm gonna do pumpkin seeds. And then just choose your own kind of dressing. You don't have to be picky here. If you can though, make it by hand. Simple balsamic vinegar and olive oil is always good. Maybe put a dash of honey or maple syrup in there as well for some sweetness. So let's get started. I'm gonna bring the date recipe over here as well. I've never baked this recipe before. I got this from my parents who said they've had this one and it's super, super good. So this is a dessert by request. I will hold this up to the screen if you guys want to take a screenshot of it. Give you like a good 10-ish seconds. There we go. And the little note on the bottom says to just double the crust up. So we are gonna do that. We want it on the bottom and the top. That way it's not too gooey. So I'm gonna start by making the filling, just because that has to cook a little bit. And I have just some of these like pitted chopped up dates in a brick. And that's 18 ounces. This says a pound, so we're close enough. Stefan, what is up? Welcome to the stream. So let's open these guys up, and then you'll need a cup of water for the filling as well. I know, it's like a brick of dates. If you want to be fancy, you can use like really nice medjool dates, just they are a lot more expensive. It's getting sticky. I don't even know if I'm gonna break these up at all yet. I think with it like being boiled with the water and stuff, it should come apart pretty quick. I guess we'll see, guys. We shall see. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate that. Blackistan. It's right here. The biggest plate. I am using some organic ground beef. Super delicious. So I am going to turn the camera just on to the stovetop now so we can watch those dates bubble away. I just plopped those into my saucepan on the back there. And then I'm gonna add my cup of water. And also 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Sorry, Blackistan, I'm straight marinated. Finn, I mean, organic makes a difference if you care about where your meat is coming from. I mean, I still don't even know what farm this has come from or anything like that. So for all I know, it's still being farmed improperly and they're just not like doping the cows with any hormones or anything like that. Yeah, pretty much, Blackistan. We're pretty much there. You're too late. But other than that, Finn, like, I don't find a huge difference in flavor. So I'm gonna turn this on now just to start softening the dates up. I think I'm gonna keep it on pretty low. Just because we do have quite a bit of sugar going in there. I don't want to like burn it at all because sugar does burn super fast. I ain't got no side hose, man. Nobody got time for that. Okay, so 3/4 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of butter, and a teaspoon of vanilla. This is some amazing vanilla paste instead of that liquid stuff that you find in stores. If you can get your hands on this, for sure go for it. You can find it on Amazon. It is expensive though, but it's so worth it. It's the real deal. And our butter. I'm gonna think the dates should soften up pretty fast. Let's hope for like 10 minutes. You couldn't find it, Finn? Here's another site that you can find it on. It's called Qualifirst. It's more for like industrial kitchens, but you can order whatever you want for yourself and they'll ship it to your house pretty quick. They don't have that exact bottle, but they do have another one. I've used it. It's good. Okay, I'm just gonna get a wooden spoon out for this. And that's just gonna be chilling while we make our topping. So I just need to grab a bowl for this stuff, but we're gonna start with 1 3/4 cups of oatmeal. Actually, that's a lie because we're doubling this. So 3½ cups of oatmeal, and then 3 cups of flour. Yay, math. And this is also making a big pan of date squares too. It's always good to make extra. I mean, I'm sure they won't even last a week, so everyone's just gonna eat them up. I'm using quick oats for this, but I'm sure you could use just like whole oats as well. Not steel cut, for sure not. Those are way too hard. What's going on today, Finn? Anything new? buying a house. That's a big decision to make. But that's always a fun process. A little bit stressful, but it's fun to look forward to. Boom, 3.5. You live for stress. That's just the way she goes, isn't it? Are you in America? Okay, 3 cups of flour going in. Or you are in Canada. Whereabouts? Did I already know this? I had like an influx of Canadians in my stream the other day. I could not keep track. What's going on over here? Nothing at all. It's hard as a rock. Okay, next for our topping, 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That's gonna keep the topping really nice and light. That's what makes pancakes fluffy and waffles. I was like, what is that? Crazy nice. Do you know what that is? 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, then 2 cups of brown sugar. Make sure you pack that down really well. Yeah, Tristan, I'm glad you're back. We're doing some like old classics today. Really homey food. I haven't done anything baked in a casserole in quite a while. Who are we dating tonight? Anies, I've already had a marriage proposal. Where have you been? I'm doing a dessert right now, Tristan. So I'm making date squares. They're like kind of a grandma dessert, but they're so tasty. No, it wasn't from OMAT. Okay, I think I have to go grab some extra brown sugar. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah. And then quick little trick for brown sugar, if it starts to get hard, I keep a stale piece of bread in here, and then that sucks the moisture out. This piece of bread is like probably almost a year old. It's not even moldy. Nothing's happening. I don't know how it doesn't mold in there, but that's one thing to keep in mind if you're trying to keep brown sugar. It's always the worst when you go to use it and it's just like hard as a rock. Double marination. Eat the bread? No. It is my homemade bread though. Like it is a sourdough, so maybe that's why it didn't mold. There's no weird stuff added to it. Clearing out the sugar today. Was the neighbors... Honestly, Tristan, don't even get me started. I woke up at 5:30 today. Not happy. One of these days, I'm gonna go outside. Kate's not gonna be happy. Just start yelling like food fight and start like throwing food at him. And be like, what? What is going on right now? Beat him with it. Oh man. We can't start this again. You guys put too many terrible ideas in my head. Okay, there's our 2 cups of sugar. Violence with Kate. Annie's, I'm starting with the date squares just because the cottage pie won't take me very long. So I wanted to bake the squares while I make the pie later. I thought that would be a good idea. That way the pie doesn't sit for like ever on the stove top. Let's check this out now. I don't even know what's going on in here. Let's flip it. Careful it doesn't splash you though. Ah! Maybe that'll help. Just bricks. There's an onion. There's one. It's a beauty. Yeah, you did, Tristan. The brick, Annie's, is dates. So that's how you can buy dates. They're like already chopped and pitted. That's the cheap version. They should soften up though. Let's give it a couple more minutes until I start smashing things. Okay, next thing going in, we need a teaspoon of salt. That is key. Don't ever forget your salt in your baking. You need that contrast so like it's not as sweet. And that way you can eat a bunch and it doesn't taste gross after. All of the dates, Annie's, in the world. Oh. I think it's working a little bit. And then I just need to melt 1.5 cups of butter. So there you go, Finn. We're already starting with our mass amounts of butter. And then we're gonna mix this all up and it's gonna get really nice and crumbly. More butter. Butter makes everything better. You missed some facts. I'll go over them again though. They only take me a couple of minutes to go through. Nothing too crazy today. But there are some interesting ones. Mia! My girl. How are you? Microwave that butter. I emptied my butter pot, but don't worry, I got another pound on backup. I guess if you wanted to, like, you can add cinnamon or some kind of spice to this, but I like it just plain. That way you can taste the dates. All right, guys, softening up. Magic. Oh no, that's the worst. Serving problems for sure. My wrist was like messed for a year at least from cooking. I'm doing well today, really good. So Tristan, in the pan, I have a cup of water, a brick of dates, so it's a pound if you want to be correct in weight. And then 3/4 of a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of butter, and some vanilla. And we're gonna just cook that down until it gets really nice and soft and gooey. It's not the beef. The beef is over here. It's just chilling. We haven't even touched it yet. It's fresh to death, so yeah, don't listen to them, Mia. You know those tricksters. Let's put our butter into here. I guess I should actually look at how much I have. I don't even have enough. When you think it's enough, it's not enough. Okay, I need to just get a half cup off of this pound. No weenies. It's not onion cake day yet. I don't know if you guys ever watch Twin Vaders, but they had a pretty deadly stream this morning. They made butter chicken. And like I was watching that from like 7:30 to 8:30 and it made me so hungry. So I think I'm gonna make that on Sunday with you guys. Just because it was so good. I have 1 onion for the pie. Yeah, exactly. I woke up early and just saw that Vaders were on and I watched them while I did some menu planning. It's in an island, Tristan. Okay, we're buttered up. This is getting cray. I would say it's large. Oh, we ain't even soft yet. I can add 2, but I don't want to add 2 onions. Then it's just like pure onion. Here you go, Mia. Let's see what's going on in here. Let's get another flip, I think. Smash it. Yeah. It's working. Doggo. She's a good doggo. She likes cooking and stuff. Okay, now we're good. This is the biggest bowl of like topping and crisp. let's give this a mix. '80s. You can't really trust those West Coast folk, can ya? They're wild. Oh, hush. Clean that up. Right there. Doggo is also a vacuum. It's great. That's how you keep your kitchen clean. This is getting crumbly, guys. It looks good. And it smells good, too. We all mixed up. Okay, perfect. You don't want any dry, crumbly bits on the bottom of the bowl. Make sure it's completely saturated in butter. Let's not even look at those neighbors over there. Wild with Brick of Dates. Sounds like a great movie. Okay, I think we're almost there. We just want to get our dates nice and soft and unbricked. You don't have to worry too much about like reducing the liquid here because that's gonna bake out in the oven. And that'll create a really nice caramel. So I think I was pretty accurate when I said this would take me probably 10 minutes. Stab it. Yeah. Okay. Off she goes. Now I'm going to press the crust into the pan. And I'm using a 9 by 13 pan. So take half of your crumble here, pour that in. Guys, I think this is gonna be thick. Real nice and thick. That looks good to me. I like more crumble on top than the bottom. So that can just be set aside. And I'm just gonna press that down with my hands, I think, just to make an even layer. Like so. It's true. I'm blessed. And then bring this guy over. And then we also need to add walnuts. If you don't like walnuts, I'm sure pecans would be amazing in this too. I mean, I don't know if I would add almonds though. That would be kind of just too dry. So I'm gonna add 2 cups of walnuts. And these are just like halves and pieces. And it says to stir this into the dates, but I think I'm just gonna pour the walnuts onto the crisp and then just spread out the date mixture after that. Kosh is ready for any nuts. There's a wild vacuum in the kitchen. That was great. Boom. Is that good, girl? That was good stuff. And she never leaves, Finn. She knows the sound of packages, and there's usually like really good stuff in there, right? So like the crinkling of a chip bag or a cheese wrapper. She's like, I'm here. Whatever you need, I got you. She doesn't like any lettuces, obviously onions. I don't think she'll eat like parsnip, so we can test that one today if you guys are curious. But I think I tried to give that to her one time and she's just like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather not. But she just like half chews it up and then leaves it on the floor for me to pick up. She's like, I don't eat this peasant food, human. So spread this out. Have you guys ever like made anything with dates before, or is this like a first? Usually I just snack on them. That's another sequel, Dates and Nuts. Dates and Nuts. Okay, that looks good. Gotta try this. No date facts, really. Yeah, sticky toffee pudding. That's so good. I mean, most dates come from the Middle East, if you're wondering where they come from. Yeah. Okay, now we gotta put our topping on. So this one, I'm not gonna pack down too much, because it will kind of cook together since we added a ton of sugar and butter with the flour and oats. And we'll keep this one nice and crumbly and light. That's a pan of stuff. Layers on point. That's pretty much it, Amy's. Oats, flour, baking powder, and baking soda. So that's also gonna keep your crumbles nice and light. And then butter, brown sugar, and salt. The brown sugar is key though, because that's what gives you like the nice caramel flavor compared to just white sugar. So I think that's good. And then those bake at 350 Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna start my oven for 25 minutes. So easy. And it says in bold letters, no longer than that. So it must get like a little bit tough if you bake it too long or dry. I want to make lasagna. I really do, Tristan. That's on the list. For sure, Anies. Thanks for the conversions. I know, I'm in Canada and I still don't use metric. Terrible. Okay, so that's chillin'. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is start the potatoes for the mash. Well, potatoes and parsnip. And I'm making a big pan, so I kind of estimated that I would need 4 big potatoes and just a couple of parsnips. That's gonna give it a little bit of a different flavor. That's my little spin on cottage pie. But these can all be cooked together. Traveling is counted in hours? What? Say what? So let's peel this parsnip. Okay, and here's our test. She's gonna be like, so she is excited right now, but she's gonna take it and just spit it out. Now she's just looking at me like, why would you give me that? Here it is in its whole completeness. Yeah, Tristan, that would be nuts. 100 miles per hour? What? The border from US to Canada. Wow. But you Americans are crazy though. So the only thing important here is to make sure your parsnip pieces are like the same size as your potato pieces. That is key. That way you can cook it all together. Kush is out. She's like, parsnips? Nah. Oh, it's flying. You don't want any brown parts here on your potato. We want to keep our mash really nice and white. And then I don't know if you guys have a peeler like this, but that little hole there, that's what I use to take out the little eyes of the potato, is what they're called. It is really handy, it works well. What? That's lame. Seriously? I'll go look and see if I can change the name later. But I doubt it. I think Twitch was just being a little bit crazy yesterday. Holy, what is going on? Rotten from the inside. What is this? Craziness. What else are you cooking this week, guys? Tell me about your plans. Potato famine. Way back when? Yeah, I think these potatoes are from then. They've seen better days. Like, we just bought these. Tristan. That's crazy. Well, that's why I started this show. It's for people like you to stop being scared of cooking. They're crazy potatoes. Like, look how much waste that is. Your poor liver. Okay, let's dice this up. So I'm gonna cut the parsnips first, just because they're kind of weird sizes. And then I'll cut the potatoes to match the size of these. There we go. That's fair, Tristan. A lot of people do that. Okay, 25 minutes. No longer. I've seen the proof, Anies. You gotta push it to that level, though. It's fun, right? And that too, Finn. Like, even if you make too much, you can always have lunches and stuff. Meal prep like a boss. Oh yeah, I bet your blister is just like itchy and flaky now, and all you want to do is pick it. But then you pick it too far and it hurts. And then you're like, why did I even do this? Yep, we've been there. That's part of cooking though. Accidents happen. Oh, brutal. Yeah, because then it's always like moist, right? It doesn't actually heal. Okay, now I'm gonna fill this pot, here we go, with cold water. Always cold water when you're doing any root veg. Why? It'll help to keep the potatoes a nice white color and also keep them cooking evenly. So if you add cold or hot water right away, that's actually gonna bring out like the starches and start to cook the outside of the potato a little bit. You don't want that. You want it to cook really evenly. And not like have a bunch of starch floating around in the water, because that means you're just like losing your potato for no reason. And then also a lot of salt. So like at least a tablespoon and a bit. And that way it's nicely seasoned when you go to make the mash, and then we can touch up the seasoning just a little bit when we mix in the cream and stuff. So those can go back there. And I'll let them slowly come up to a boil as we make our fill-in. Yeah. Tristan, it's actually not legal here yet, but there are dispensaries everywhere. That's just a BC thing, I think, though. If Rando is still in here, he could probably answer that for you, because he's in Alberta. But yeah, there's dispensaries everywhere here. You just need to be over 19. I mean, they don't even check your ID, which is really hilarious. And you can pretty much get whatever you want. I don't know where you're at, Finn. Okay, now we can deal with our other veggies. I'm going to, Amy's. I'm totally going to. That's a Bake with Kate stream. There's no recreational. Bake with Kate. It's gonna be a thing. Kate, the most important part of the stream. But not actually, just for Amy's. Onion. And we're gonna do a small dice here. Whatever veg you decide to put into your cottage pie, you always wanna kind of keep it the same size as what your ground meat is gonna turn out to. So I wouldn't go any bigger than like the size of a pea or a kernel of corn. That way everything cooks really evenly as well. That's always the key. There are many uses, Tristan. You don't just have to use it recreationally. stuff has helped a lot of people. Oh, we got some stuffs on there still. Okay, so for all my new peeps in here today, whenever I cut an onion, you can kind of see like the butt end there. I cut the opposite side of that. And then I also, if you can see all the lines in there that are natural, I also follow those lines. So instead of cutting like straight up and down, I follow it all the way across in the semicircle. And then just keep your index finger on your blade to measure out where you want to cut. Bam. Any little ends like this, you can just touch them up and just thinly slice around that butt end. You don't really have to go too close to it because that stuff's really hard. It doesn't cook down that easily. And my waterworks are starting already. So emotional. Oh, they hate onions. I don't think dogs are even supposed to eat onions. Bless you. She thinks she likes onions. But she does know there's a carrot up here. That's probably what she's waiting for. Ah! I'm crying so much I can't even see what I'm chopping. Wild. What was that? We're terrified, Posh. Yeah, wear goggles. Put saran wrap over my eyes. Anything. The struggle is real. Crying with Kate. Now live. Tiger. You always catch me at the worst time. Okay, turning this pan on to like a medium high. Because we're gonna start to brown the beef first. Holy, literally have tears running. We're gonna brown the beef first in the pan. That way we get like all of that beef fat in there and we don't have to add any extra oil. So while that's heating, just because this is gonna come together pretty quick, I'm gonna continue prepping all of the veg here. Just peeling the carrots right now. More butter. Don't worry, I'll put like a bunch of butter in the mashed potatoes. Oh, maybe I should make brie mash. I know there's still brie in the fridge. Brie mash is dirty, but so good. Look at this little guy. He's like, I'm growing. Colonel Onion. Yeah, why is butter so good? Like, so good. Yeah, cheesy mash for the win. Okay, let's open up these packs just so they're ready to go. Okay, good on that. And handy dandy wooden spoon, always. Let's see where we're at. I think this pan is good to go. Let's add something and see if it sizzles. Oh yeah. I don't want to overcrowd the pan at all, otherwise the meat's not going to brown. And we want it to brown because that creates all of our flavor. So I'm going to wait to add that other half of beef. You don't want to cool your pan off too much. Garlic cheesy mash. Bye, Ainies. Night night. See you again soon. I know this. You and your onions. And then I'm also gonna grab a bowl just to pour my browned meat into. We're not gonna cook that the whole time. We're gonna take it out of the pan once it's brown and then add our veg, like our onion and carrots, and brown those up really nice. And then we will make our sauce. So you guys can kind of see how much liquid is already coming out of there. That's why you always want a really high heat. And I'm also not seasoning the beef at this point because we are putting beef stock into the sauce. So we don't want to double salt ourselves because that wouldn't be delicious. Break this up a bit. I'm just gonna let that liquid cook out here. Before I stir it up. That way the bottom will still brown. Back to our carrots. Smelling good though. Oh, the vacuum's coming back, guys. She's like, I know what's going on over there. That was a good one. And then I feel like I should check on the date squares after this. I need a peek. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I've been craving this for a while. Yeah. Cheese actually isn't traditional when I was reading up on it, but everyone puts it because why not? Oh yeah. There we go. We got some nice color on there. sure you scrape all those bits off the bottom. You don't want it to burn at all. Okay, let that go. You're back. We're still here, Tristan. All I've done so far is put the meat into the pan and cut up the carrots, the same size as the onions. And now I'm just smashing some garlic cloves to mince in there. On this. Oh, it smells so good, guys. Yahtzee! What is up? You found me. That's amazing. Thank you for that. I really like Instagram, I have to say. I love taking photos of food. Then I also have some fresh thyme here, so I can quickly take that off the stem while we wait. Oh yeah, I love making bagels. I haven't made those in so long. Those were actually like special kind of bagels. We called them brewer's bagels. I used to work in a brewery, and we made them with the wort, which is the liquid that is strained off after you heat up your wheat and water. Do them tomorrow. I need to go to a brewery here and get some wort. I'll do like a little tradesies. I'll say, if you give me some wort, I will bring you some fresh bagels the next day. A little food photo booth. I don't. But I have really been enjoying like plating on just a plain white plate. It just makes all the colors stand out really nicely. There's no need for fancy plates. I think so, Finn. There's a couple breweries here. I'm sure they would not turn down fresh bagels. Okay, this beef is almost done. Let's see where our potatoes at. Not even boiling. To Olive Garden. Unlimited breadsticks. Have a good dinner, Tristan. See you tomorrow, maybe? We're doing Thirsty Thursday. I'm gonna do gin and ginger shrimp. Finn is so upset. I don't even know if Olive Garden exists where I live. The only thing that was good there was their dressing. They had a good dressing. Yeah, check back for this clip later, Tristan, and you can see how everything turned out. Or on my Instagram. I always post my meals on there every night after I do it. Okay, the liquid is almost all cooked out. I'm just gonna leave the beef in there for a couple more minutes because I do want to get some brown onto it. We want to get some color onto there. We have Olive Garden in Canada. I just don't think there's very many left. And then actually, while I wait, let's prep. So I'm using this for the beef stock. This is a liquid one, but by all means, if you have like a powder, go and use that. So this says 2 teaspoons to a cup of water. So I need 2 cups, so that's 4 teaspoons. And always make sure your water is really hot when you're mixing your stock in, otherwise it doesn't dissolve. Thanks, Tristan. I've been having a lot of fun on here, I have to say. Community has been great so far. There we go. Now we're sizzling. We might even have to sneak in a date square snack before dinner because there's only 2 minutes left on those. What? You know I will appreciate that so much. I'll for sure like use that money to make something special. If you have any requests, let me know. Okay, beef stock is ready. We're getting there, guys. Okay, that is good for that bit of beef. Now I just have to pour it into this bowl. If you have to, scrape out whatever is left on the bottom. And then I'm gonna add the other pack, and that will fry up a lot faster because there is less of it. Go on my channel page, Tristan, and there is the donate button there. And then that is through PayPal, so it is safe and everything like that. Ah! We're wild! Now we're cooking. I can't wait to deglaze this pan with wine. It's gonna be so good. Okay, date squares have to come out. Need to put those up here for you guys to see. Holy. They don't really look much different, but let's see if you can kind of see the side of the pan, like how nice and caramelized it got. Let's just let that cool for a bit. And I'm just gonna shut the oven off for now. I'm not even really close to building the cottage pie, so there's no reason to keep it hot. Yum. You know it, Mia. I will totally have a little piece of square. So, next thing that is gonna go into the pan is some red wine and then the stock. And then a little bit of tomato paste. So all of those are gonna come together really nicely when we bake that in the oven. And I think we're gonna reduce the sauce just a little bit before we build the cottage pie because I don't want it to be runny at all. So I'm gonna make sure the sauce is nice and thick before I mix it with the beef. Yum. Thanks, Tristan. Thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Good night, sir. Hope you have a good dinner at Olive Garden. There's no judgment here. You still gotta feed yourself. See? Now I have to make lasagna for you. It's gonna happen. Okay, this round of beef is almost done. There actually wasn't a ton of oil left over in the pan from it, so I might have to add a bit. I'm just waiting for Finn to say more butter. But I think I'm gonna use olive oil instead, just because it has like a higher cooking point. Olive Garden is not a bad thing. There we go. Look it up, Mia. You'll see. It's just like a chain Italian restaurant that's been around forever. Like, I remember going there when I was a kid. Use all of the cow. Okay, that is good for that round of beef. Let's pour that out. And next comes a little touch of olive oil. Just so we have something to saute our onions and carrots and garlic in. What the fuck? And I always just like to cut everything on my board and then scrape it into the pan. That's my little trick. We're not gonna add the garlic or thyme yet though, because those things will burn really quickly. They just need a little bit of heat compared to the onions and carrots. We'll get that all nicely coated in oil, and that will take like a good 5 minutes to saute down. Oh, Posh just ate an onion. I might have been wrong. Oh, Olive Garden biscuits? I thought it's breadsticks.
No, the little biscuits.
No, that's Red Lobster.
Oh.
She's getting her chain restaurants mixed up. We're wild. I know, Mia. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So while that stuff is going, now I should probably prep the stuff for our mash. Ben, that is awesome that you're in here. Welcome to the chat. We're a little crazy sometimes. But we all cook together and it's always a blast. So let's get, I'm gonna use brie and maybe a little bit of cheddar. Cheese it up. Oh, she's coming back. She's like, cheese, I'm here, guys. So how much cheese do we need? Well, however much that you want to eat. Let's just say that. I think this recipe said 200 grams. So this is a pretty big piece of brie. Let's just weigh that and see what it says. And we'll go from there. So that's only 67. So let's cut off like 30 more grams. I'll do an even amount of brie and cheddar. Okay, let's say this is 30 grams. I'm gonna test it. Let's see how good I am. 43. I'm losing my chef skills, guys. Oh yeah, browning up nicely. Oh, we're bubbling. It's all coming together. Yeah. My iometer is like out of whack. It's been 2 months. Hard to believe. And honestly, I don't really miss it. What up, fam? That's my dog. We're just getting cheesy. So I think you will approve of what's going in the mashed potatoes for the cottage pie. This is smelling so good. Gotta see how the dinner's looking. It's true, Mia. I'm gonna try to not step into another like professional kitchen until it's my own. That's my goal. So we'll see how the next 6 months go. The international sound for dogs to be in the kitchen. Yes, Finn. That's seriously brilliant. I love it. That was honestly one of the first things I ever wanted to do when I got into cooking. I always said I wanted to open a food truck. And I have people that could do that for me. I got some handy dandy builders in the fam.
Right, grab the top.
Okay, this stuff is pretty much good. I'm gonna add the garlic and thyme now. There's really nice color on there. I love your support, Mia. I love how down to earth you are. Got a little time for that. Give that a stir again. This is when it's going to start to smell really good. Sauteed garlic. And then I'm also going to get my tomato paste ready. Thanks, girl. I feel the love from afar. I do. Oh. Tomato paste is running on me. So we're definitely not going to use this whole can. I'm just going to take a spoonful out of it. Probably like a good 2 tablespoons worth. And that'll give some really nice richness to our sauce. You think I need to
No,
stir
no.
it up? Okay. And we can stir that in now. We don't want our garlic to burn at all. Because keep in mind, it's still going to cook in the oven. You can brown the tomato paste just a little bit if you want. And then we're going to add our wine stock.
Maybe turn it
That's going to be fine after this. There we go. Oh yeah. Deglaze.
Gosh, get it.
Ah, I knew it. It's not a good cottage pie unless you set your smoke detector off, guys. This is looking good. Maybe that's how I'll get back at the neighbors. Gotta get that shower cap on our smoke detector. The dog will be fine after she has some cheese. Okay, let's get a check on these potatoes, guys. And those are great. So I'm going to strain those out in the sink. I felt it. I knew it was going to go off. I was like, it's getting hot in here. So there's our lovely mash. And I'm just gonna bring those over to beside me. And feel free to let those cool off a little bit and air out. And they'll stay nice and fluffy that way. So I'm just gonna make sure all of my nice brown bits are off the bottom of this pan. And then let's add a couple of squirts of our Worcestershire and 2 bay leaves. Oh no, Mia. I am warm. Like, look how red my cheeks are. It's hot in here. And that's gonna simmer away a little bit. And I also think I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of flour to this right now. But I will do that with a whisk, just so we don't get any lumps in there, because that's no good. So if you sprinkle it over, you should be fine. Just make sure it gets nice and smooth. And let's turn this down a tad now. Because flour does tend to stick on the bottom of the pan when you make a sauce at first. So I'm just going to keep stirring this up for a little bit longer. You can definitely see how nice and dark it's getting though. I'm gonna give that a couple minutes to come together and then I'll add the beef back into there. My favorite spring season foods, yeah, good one. Anything on the grill. Some of my favorite veggies that do come up are like baby radishes and turnips. Everything small, like baby beets. And then obviously all of the fresh lettuces. Really, really good. I love the farmer's market in the summer. I feel like I do eat a lot more seafood though in the summertime. When it warms up one day here soon, we're gonna go out crabbing. I love fresh veggies. Like when I know they're straight out of the garden, I don't need to do anything to them. I'll just eat them raw. Ashley, you like cheese? You want some cheese? Yes, we will do some grilling streams for sure. I will set up that camera. We'll do some charcoal grilling. We'll do some gas barbecuing. Oh, cheese is flying. You know what I'm gonna do right now? Okay, we're good. You can turn it down a bit. Is just check to see how much liquid is in the bottom of this bowl. There's actually not much. It's more just beef fat, so I'm good to go to add this. If there was a lot of liquid, then I would add that to the sauce first and let it reduce a bit. We don't want no watery pie. Yes, for sure. Well, I don't know if you caught my Greek stream. I don't think you were in here yet, but I pretty much like lit the chicken on fire. It was hilarious. And let's just turn this guy off. And now we can add our peas and corn as well. So I didn't cook the frozen peas and corn with the sauce just because they're so delicate that they're gonna cook just enough in the oven when we bake this. Fire is fun. I think that's why I love cooking so much. I like to live dangerously. Yeah, it's back there somewhere, Mia. I mean, you didn't see me light it on fire on stream, but you saw how black the chicken was after. So I'm pretty much just using up stuff out of the freezer for this extra veg. I would say that was like about a cup of corn. And I'll do the same amount of peas. Safety first, yeah, always. I have melted a sheet pan on top of a grill before. That's how hot I got it. That was kind of crazy to me. But I've never like almost blown my face off or anything like that. Nothing that dangerous. I always make the guys do it. Okay, let's mix this in. And we can take our bay leaves out as well now, just so no one chews down on that. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, important part now. We gotta taste this. Mmm. Gravy, really good. Right, Finn? The stream would be nothing. Definitely need a ton of salt into here. I would say like 2 tablespoons. And let's do some fresh ground pepper as well. I might add a little bit more wine too. Oh, maybe I won't because I just broke the cork off in it. Ugh. What not to do. No one would even watch me. How to open wine with Kate. We're good. We're good, guys. What do I have left in here? Like a cup? Keep in mind the peas and the corn are also going to release some liquid during cooking. So definitely don't make it too soupy to start out with. Okay, let's try this again. That's delicious. Really, really good. Wine and dine. Yeah, I'll get some of that like makeup cover stuff and just stream with one eyebrow. Sounds like fun. Just gonna pour that beef into the pan first, and then I'll make the mash real quick. One thing when you're using cast iron, never grab the handle after you cook with it. I've done it. It's terrible. Holy, the wine in here smells unreal. I don't even know if there's room for mash. Let me spread that out a bit. Smells too good, guys. Way too good. I do still have fingerprints. We're good. You can track me. I mean, at some points I didn't, though. That's a true story. So I do have a little bit of beef left over, but I'm not gonna overfill the pan. That'll be good like just as a snack on its own. So that is gonna be going into the fridge for leftovers. First things first, the masher. And Finn, this is for you, some butter. Yeah, there's still butter going in this. A couple of cubes. We're just gonna mash this lightly right now. We don't want to get it any like gluey or starchy going on yet. It's gonna come together once we add the cheese. So you just kind of want to break the potato and parsnip down at this point. But it's a little bit lumpy as well. Like a so. And now our brie. I'm keeping the rind on this. We've done these potatoes before and it just melts in. So no need to waste any cheese there. I'm being summoned for a cheese snack. And give that another little mash. Do you guys want cheddar in the mash too? Or is that just going on top? This smells so good already. I think we need a touch of sour cream. Cheddar on top. Sounds good to me. All of the cow, right? See, I'm delivering. You said all of the cow. You have all of the creams now. That should be enough. That was about half a cup, guys. Yeah. They're escaping. Get out of there. Well, I wish you guys could taste these, because I know they're gonna be unreal. I love the little bit of different flavor that the parsnip puts into this. Just makes it like a little bit sweeter, I would say. Okay. So that's nice and smooth now. Obviously, I'm gonna taste this again. If it needs any extra salt, I will add that now. I can use this same fork. So good. Let's say about 2 teaspoons of salt. Just don't overwork your potatoes. We don't want glue, we want mash. Are you guys like lumpy mashed potato people, or are you like whipped mashed potato people? Just gonna go over here and bang this off. We're getting there. Yeah, go lumps. This is such a heavy pan. It's gonna weigh like a good 20 pounds when I'm done with it. Well, I definitely estimated my potatoes correctly. You want to make sure you get it all the way to the edge. Seal your casserole off. That way all of your beef juices stay in there and they don't escape. Holy, you guys. This isn't even right. If you want, you can go like fancy and do a little swirly swirl. Some people like to pipe on their potatoes. It's so right. Yeah, it's true. It's not even wrong. And now, the cheese. I'm probably not going to use all the cheese I grated, just because that's a bit of an excessive amount. And then I always like to just top it with a little bit of smoked paprika after. And bake it with that on it. This is Kate's cottage pie. Get that even cheese layer. Cheese, please. So, this stuffs. You don't need a ton though. Is this a little bit stuck? Hello? Uh-oh. There we go. That is it. The pie is complete. I'm gonna go over to the other camera because it's a lot better for some reason for food. Yum. So I actually don't even know what this bakes at. I'm gonna say something low, like 350, but let me just check real quick. That's one thing I didn't write down. That was bad. BBC, food. 220 Celsius. Where's Amy's for my conversion? Really high. It's like 430 degrees, it says. I'm gonna go with 400. I don't want the cheese to like burn at all, because it would definitely burn if I did it at 450. That's not what we want. So oven is preheating, and then in just a sec I'll cut into the date squares that I made earlier, because those should be nicely rested by now. A little bit messy to make, but you can do all the dishes while your dinner is baking. Like, that's the best part. Finn, since you're Canadian, have you ever had date squares? You would. That's good to hear. I'm actually going to take a quick photo of these things. Overlay in. All the hard work is done, guys. And it's only 5 o'clock. I crushed it. Gotta get that angle, yo. Okay, our pan's not even hot. Let's do this. Let's say this big. Holy smokes. It definitely cooked down well. Everything's holding together. Gotta get my plate ready. And I'm going for this middle piece, just because it's easier to get out of the pan. Let's see how crumbly it actually is. Oh God! Oh, it's actually not that bad. Probably have to let it sit for a little bit longer. It's definitely still warm in the middle. But I'll kind of clear out that stuff, and you can see how the layers are. Get that angle. So we are good. Just I couldn't wait because I'm impatient and I had to get it out. But that's the ooey gooey mess. And I would totally eat that with like a scoop of ice cream or something. Because why not? Anything with like crumble on it always benefits from something creamy. All of the cow. Now we need a taste. Holy smokes. What is that, a landline? Cheers, guys. Mm-hmm. I like that. That's delicious. I love the walnuts in there. But I do want to do a variation with pecans for sure. If I was to be picky, I would maybe add like a touch of salt on top. Because it is pretty sweet, but it's so good. You would like this. Yeah, looks like you should eat it. Okay, let's put some stuffs away. That doesn't go there. You guys want to just chill out while we bake the pie, or should I come back? I mean, if you want to go ahead and go do something right now, feel free. The pie is going to bake. Okay, I'll chill out then. We'll chill out, because I think it only bakes for about 20 minutes. Because everything's already cooked. You just kind of want it to meld together. So, there's our summon to put the pie in. I'm gonna set a 20-minute timer. Finn, if you wanna go do something, by all means, come on back. Okay, I'll turn up the music. Party! And then if you guys ever have like extra tomato paste, pop that in the freezer. Just put it in a baggie. And that way you can pull it out for next time you need it. Super handy. Just don't forget that it's there. Oh, I have upcoming stream ideas, Yahtzee. I've been planning. That's what I did this morning when I was watching Twin Vaders. So, let's go to my page. For the rest of this week, tomorrow I want to do for Thirsty Thursday, like gin and ginger shrimps or prawns. So I think I'm gonna do some flambéing tomorrow. Light it up. Set the smoke detector off once again. And with that, some coconut rice, because that's delicious. And I'm not sure if I want to do broccoli or spinach with it yet, or what to flavor it with. So if you guys want to see something, by all means. Maybe I'll make like a gratin. Do like a baked broccoli and cauliflower dish. We'll see, we'll see. I'm actually not set on tomorrow. And then Friday, I'm not streaming, but this is what we're having. We're doing barbecue pork ribs with a white bean cassoulet. Super, super good. I'm gonna put a bunch of bacon into it. I'll probably do the cassoulet in a slow cooker all day, because that's easy. And then Sunday, I am back. So I'm gonna do butter chicken with a Kashmiri rice. So that has like raisins and fruits and nuts into it. It's really, really good. I had it all the time at this one Indian spot I used to eat at, and I feel like I need to make it again. And I think I'm gonna make some naan bread from scratch, guys, on that day. So stay tuned for Sunday, because that's gonna be another fun one. And then the week after, Meatless Monday once again, if we can make it that far. What would I serve if I had a food truck? I mean, I talked about this with Sam already, but we want to do like a Texas barbecue kind of Eastern European fusion. So like a bunch of barbecued meats. It doesn't just have to be beef. We would do chicken as well. Like smoked chicken, smoked beef, probably do house-made smoked sausages. And then keep all the sides like traditional European sides. So like do a play on cabbage rolls and then German spatzel and stuff like that. Because there's not a ton of barbecue spots and there's not a ton of Eastern European spots either. And that's like some of my favorite food to eat. I love smoked meat. But yeah, Monday, Meatless Monday. So I'm gonna make veggie burgers by hand. And I've done this recipe before, like 5 years ago, I think. So hopefully it works. And they're gonna be a chickpea and black bean combo. And then to top them, I'm gonna make some pickled red onions, basil aioli. I might do brioche buns from scratch that day as well. Might do like a quick earlier stream for an hour and then finish the buns later on at night. And then tomato jam with that as well. So just cook down tomatoes, onions, garlic, and cumin and paprika. That gets really nice and rich. And then I don't know if you guys are ready for next Tuesday, but we're doing Taco Tuesday. So I'm gonna go find some masa and make tortillas from scratch, because I did get a tortilla press lately. And I used it for the Greek pitas, and I've been dying to make tacos with it. So I'm gonna do chorizo tacos and fish tacos that day with an avocado tomatillo salsa and then classic pico de gallo. I've been missing tacos for sure. Have you been to Trey's lately, Bran? And Wednesday, I'm gonna do a chicken tom kha gai soup, because I've been buying a ton of whole chickens and cutting them up. So yesterday I used the legs, and I have like 4 or 5 chicken carcasses in the freezer that I've been needing to make a soup with, I think. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. That was for you, right, Yahtzee? Were you the one asking for something Mexican? And with the tom kha gai, I'm just gonna do a simple rice and stir-fried Asian greens. And then Thursday, doing something a little bit different. So it's Thirsty Thursday still, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna sous vide some pork chops with probably whiskey. Some sort of alcohol is gonna be sous vide with that, and then we'll make a really nice sauce with it after. And smashed garlic rosemary potatoes. If no one's had smashed potatoes, you're missing out, because those are the bomb. Well, Yahtzee, I'll keep you in mind if you're not there, but you can always go back and watch the stream. We'll be thinking of you. And that's actually all I have for now. I don't even have next Sunday planned out. That's usually a bigger day of cooking, so if anyone has any requests right now, let me know. And what is this ad that's in the background right now? I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna pack up that extra beef right now, guys. And maybe get a little peek. Holy. Okay, I'm gonna put a sheet pan under it. We're pushing the limits with the cheese. You just got a sous vide? Yes! I'm so excited for you. It's so much fun. If you're at home that day, just let me know and I'll send you the recipe of what I'm making. And then we can cook together. Working. Not horrible. Bam. Leftovers are packed. Huh? Should I still make a salad? Maybe I'll make a salad real quick right now. So I said I was going to. I mean, that's not very exciting, but let's get her done. I do want to put this stuff away though first. Gotta work clean. This is a really good kitchen lingo. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Yeah, exactly. Let's make a salad. I got 9 minutes to crush it. This is my beautiful fresh lettuce. Still has its roots attached. Awesome. And some roasted pumpkin seeds that I did last week at some point. That's looking unreal in there, guys. It really is. You guys are gonna be stoked on our cottage pie. This is very interesting. So this is how they grow the lettuce, I guess. It's like a little planter on the bottom of it. I've never bought this one before. You know what? They are lucky. And they thank me all the time, but I also kind of ruin them for like going out to eat because they have such high expectations now. So let's just cut that little end off. So now you can see that there's like 3 different heads of lettuce growing all together. Pretty cool. And that'll just go into the compost. And let's pick off whatever gross pieces there are. Shouldn't be too much. Rush! My man, what is up? Just about to pull the cottage pie out of the oven. About 6 minutes left. And I'm just making a quick salad while I kill time. And I guess I could put this up here too. Post up our date squares from earlier. How is your day going? I know a little bit, Bren. I know someone that lives in California, and she grew like a whole garden in an upright planter in 3 weeks. And like all of her veg was full size. And she was able to like go traveling and just leave it and it watered itself while she was gone. Super cool. Something I would look into for sure. Just gotta get a wash on this lettuce. Holy, you're just getting up? I guess. Because you're in Ireland, yeah? Yeah, I mean, considering how much it rains here, that would be the easiest way to garden. UK. Well, I'm glad you popped in. Making one of those traditional British dishes for you today. Had to make sure I didn't call it shepherd's pie because there's no lamb in it today. Okay guys, I got 4 minutes to crush this salad. Good old spinner. No lamb yet. I still have to pop over to the lamb farm one time. That's true. Crazy food deserts. Rush, I love lamb, but some of the people that I cook for don't. So I have to make sure that I make it really good for them. And that it's super fresh. I'm not gonna just buy it from the supermarket. Because that's usually mutton. We're almost there. It is. I put like a ton of red wine into this one, Rush. And for some extra veg, I put some peas and corn. And then the mash on top, I did parsnip and brie. So this is Kate's cottage pie. Holy smokes. It looks too good. I'm just thin slicing some cucumber right now for the salad. Nothing super exciting. The exciting thing is in the oven. I might have to broil it a little bit just to get some color on our cheese that we loaded it with, but we'll see in a sec. Good catch, girl. Good snackies. Okay, we got 30 seconds. Watch out. Oh. What do we think of that? Should I put it under the broiler? Or are we good? All the bathrooms were taken. Okay, let's broil this. That will probably only take 2 minutes. Make sure you watch it carefully. We do not want any burnt cheeses today. It's pretty deadly. We cheesed it up today. Just finish off my tomatoes while the oven's heating up again. I'm so excited. I like it, Yahtzee. But were you here earlier when I already set my smoke detector off? Man, I wish I had a salamander in my kitchen. So much fun to use. Finishing steak off in there. So good. Yeah, you were. I love it. Priorities, man. Crushed it. Here's my little salad. I don't have a set dressing for that. We have like 5 or 6 that we usually pick from. Hey, let's get this guy into the broiler. That's getting turned up. Turned up. What kind of beer do you drink? Holy. It's bubbling. There's no color yet. Okay, what's your favorite beer then? What's your go-to? Done. Dun, dun, dun. Let's get a close-up on that. I know you guys love it. Yum, yum, yum. Can you see the layers? No, you can't. Okay, I'll bring it over here for you guys then. Gotta check out those layers. That smells unreal. Oh, I love saisons. I love sour beers. Or anything like really fermented. Okay, there's our layer. It's perfect. It's definitely not like over watery at all. Yep, fat tug. That's a good go-to. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit a second. Finn, you made it in time. I'm just gonna let that sit a second before I dig into it. Let everything settle out nicely. Thanks, Rush. You still like lake water beer. If there's beer, Yahtzee will drink it. Okay, 2 seconds. Let's get that full screen on there. Vanilla porter, yum. There's, I think this week or next week, one of the breweries here is doing a coconut vanilla cask. It sounds so good. Let's get in there. How to serve it, nobody knows. I think I'm gonna do a double serving though, just in case. There's a little bit of liquid at the bottom, but it's not super watery. Here, let me spoon it out. Yeah, we're good, guys. That looks unreal. You can tell because the potatoes are still holding together, right? If we made it too watery, it would just fall apart right away. There's our beautiful layers. And it's steaming still. Okay, now I get to try everything all together. Get some of that cheesy tater business. It's really hot though, so I'm gonna blow on it for a bit because I hate burning my mouth. I can't wreck my taste buds, that's all I got. Okay. Unreal. Best cottage pie I've ever eaten. I seriously wish you could taste this. Let me just turn down the music a sec. I love the brininess from the wine. I love the sweetness from the peas and the corn and the carrots in the meat. And the parsnip and brie in the mash is just to die for. And obviously the cheddar on top kind of just holds everything together. This is a deadly dish. Definitely not the healthiest for you, but for Wellness Wednesday, this is gonna make you feel good. Really good. Yeah, we got all of the cow in here. Finn knows this. And that's it, guys. I'm not going to show you the salad because who even cares about that? And for Rush, if he's still in here, this is like the side angle of the date square. I took it out while it was still a little bit warm, so it was kind of crumbly, but really, really good. They're also called matrimonial squares if you guys want to look up the recipe. But other than that, this was a really fun stream. It's really fun chatting with all of you guys again. And I'll be back tomorrow at 3. I got some ginger shrimps going down that will be flambéed with some gin. So that's gonna be fun. And coconut rice. I don't know the side yet. Have not decided. But stay tuned for that. Shrimps! Thanks, Rush. If you say that, I believe it. I'm feeling good. One last side angle. I love just like the droop of the potato and cheese. Everyone have a great night/day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.